And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here to Talladega Super Speedways. We get ready here for our next to last race of the season in the NNSCRA Last of Us Lite series. We are coming into an interesting scenario here at Dega based on the fact that right now, as it stands, it is only a two-driver battle for the championship. Now, the only difference, though, is that this race could very well turn it into a one-driver battle for the championship because of the points being as spread out as they are. As a matter of fact, here in this debuting series this season, we may end up having a driver win the championship regardless of what takes place next week at the season finale at Armory Digital Super Speedway. Ty Dent, 2 wins this season. He is the points leader. And the next closest to him is the only driver right now that is still mathematically in the hunt for the championship. That's Nick Pericles. He is 49 points out of the top position coming into this race. Now, in order for Nick Pericles to deny Ty Dent from claiming the championship crown as early as today, Nick Pericles has to finish at least 3 spots ahead of Ty Dent today and cut it down to only being 46 points out of the top position. If he is any more than 46 points back by the time this race is over, he is eliminated from the hunt, and Ty Dent, heading into next week, will be officially your Last of Us Lite Series champion. Interesting scenario here at Talladega 2 is both those drivers are starting on different ends of the starting grid. Nick Pericles will be starting from the 8th position, and Ty Dent will be starting from the 38th position. Let's get these cars rolling off, though. We're here at Talladega, and interesting scenario as well at this particular track. Fuel mileage will more than likely come into play. If you don't remember, the last time these drivers were here at Talladega, Joey Van Hoot ran out of fuel, exiting the trioval on the final lap, was able to coast to the start-finish line and win the race. But will we see something like that happen today? I don't know. These drivers have certainly remembered that happening. I'm certain they've prepared for it. Here today, Johnny Gardner, who almost won last week at Thornton, ended up coming up runner-up to Matt Corcoran. He's going to start on the pole today alongside of Amadou Diallo. Diallo would love to be able to get a couple of good runs, possibly a win here, to end out what's been a up-and-down season for him. He started out the season so well, was denied quite a couple of trips to victory lane, and then, as the season progressed and got here near the second half of the season, things have really gone south for that FedEx Chevrolet. Ryan Acosta, he came in a couple of weeks ago, making his debut at Lime Rock. He's been having a rather rickety start here, making his NSRA return. And alongside of him is going to be Carter Fargo, who comes into this race 20th in the point standings. For these drivers now, a number of them going to be racing in Snickers Cup Series, and they're just trying to get as much experience as they can to be able to utilize once they head over to their full-time Snickers Cup Series rides in Season 9. This is Talladega Super Speedway. It can hold them 3 wide, sometimes 4 wide. They have to be careful, especially the 2 drivers that are in the middle, though. We see a lot of times that they'll rub doors with each other, and sometimes that contact can cause just a little bit of an error that could take out a number of drivers. And if that's the case, you gotta wonder what's going through Ty Dent's mind, starting all the way back in 38th. If that wreck occurs, how quickly does he want to get to the front, or does he want to hang back? What's the strategy on that 19? And how hard's Nick Pericles going to race today? You could bet he's going to be up front all day long if he can help it. As Johnny Gardner will lead him down here to the start-finish line. Flagman is ready. We're ready. 19 laps of racing here at one of the most popular restrictor plate tracks on the circuit. Green flag is out here at Talladega. Johnny Gardner got going. Ryan Acosta, it appeared, did not. Amadou Diallo and Carter Fargo were both able to go around on the high side and pull down in front of the 42. And as a result, that held up that entire inside line. Jake Baskinger didn't get going, neither did Alex Tanker or Chris Louvier. And now they're going to start spreading out here along this long back straightaway. Gardner, though, leading the way. Amadou Diallo right there. Gardner actually getting quite a bit of a jump there, and that's normally not a good thing here at Dega. You want to have your drivers that you're trying to block right up behind you so they don't get a run on you, but That's not the case here for Johnny Gardner. Is Diallo going to block for second place? Carter Fargo wanted the spot. Diallo not going to allow him. Now Fargo going to charge back to the inside line. And the front six have they almost look like a grenade exploded. And I heard there's a wreck back there. We've got a caution. Wreck has occurred. Oh man, it's a huge wreck. And Pericles was in it. Zachary Chambers involved. There's Harrison Ponder, Kyle Thomas, Matt Ulsner. We're looking at Henrietta Fitzwater. Stuart Gratton was in it. Kyle Collins. There's Benjamin Miles involved. Henry Nova's been collected. And I'm certain there's some other drivers that are on the pit lane already. But Nick Pericles was involved in that. The guy who's trying to keep himself mathematically in the hunt for the championship. And that could be the death knell right there for the 43. That could be exactly what Ty Dent wanted to see to give him the championship as early as here today at Dega. Johnny Gardner leads the line. Fargo was second. Third was Ryan Acosta, then Diallo and Baskinger. Tanker's heading, or is that Tanker or is that Mongold? Oh, it's Josh, or not Mongold, I'm sorry, that was Joshua Mudd, the 84. I didn't know which one of the Red Bull Toyotas it was. Nova's already on the pit lane. And where is he? There he is, Nick Pericles. Looks like there's some front end damage on his machine. Hood's buckled up a bit. Right side damage as well on the Cheerios Betty Crocker Dodge. And up ahead of him, there you see him. Ty Dent, I believe, got through that. The car just ahead of him there, Steven Gonzalez, has got some left side damage. Looks like some rear damage on the Napa Toyota. Trying to see if there's any visible damage on the 19. Doesn't look like it. So it looks like he got through it. But we don't know how extensive the damage is on Nick Pericles. These drivers may make pit stops, I don't know. But even if they do, we're going to step aside, take a look at a replay of what happened, and then we'll come back and let you know if they did come to pit road under this yellow flag. Let's see if we can find out how this initially started. Kyle Collins running there behind Ian Butterworth. There you got Henry Nova. Oh, Benjamin Miles forced it down to try and go 4 wide, I think. And he's going to get into Kyle Collins' right rear. Aaron Henderson got a small piece of that as he got clipped. Look at everybody trying to dive down to the bottom there. There you see James Shelley here. There you see the white rear of the 19. Steven Gonzalez actually got into it with his teammate Zeke Marley and Joshua Mudd. He came down in front of them as well as Kyle Thomas. There's where Harrison Ponder gets involved. He gets hit by Lisa Gonzalez. Matt Ulsner's caught up behind this. And there's the 43 of Pericles. Let's see if we can find out how he got involved. I think he may have actually just had the misfortune of being caught on the high side when all that happened. Really had nowhere to go. Yeah, that happened right in front of him, actually. Yeah, Benjamin Miles' car, when he turned sideways, that completely blocked the entire outside line for Pericles. Watch right there, you see Steven Gonzalez on the left side of your screen comes down into Kyle Thomas, into Zeke Marley, into Harrison Ponder, and into Joshua Mudd. And Pericles, I don't know how bad the damage is on his car, quite honestly. I mean, he obviously had to slow down. I'm certain he made a little bit of contact with Benjamin Miles. But I don't know how extensive the damage is on his machine. There you see Stuart Gratton and Henrietta Fitzwater back here as well. And there you see, wow, Stephanie Naylor, Morgan Grempler, and Ryan Rezzo all running on the apron there. Joshua Mudd going to cut right in front of Morgan Grempler as his damaged Toyota goes to the apron. So that's what puts us under the caution flag. Let's take onboard camera views with the top 2 in points. Here we are on board with Nick Pericles. It looked like Pericles actually was using some strategy of trying to fall to the back here, but being caught in the high line just didn't work out for him. Pretty much nothing Pericles could do right there. That happened right directly in front of him. You can see there is a buckle on the hood of that machine. I don't know how extensive that damage is going to be. We'll have to see if he's going to be able to continue. Now on board with the points leader, Ty Dent. Watch him work his way through here. Wow. That was nicely done. Started in the 38th position and works his way up through that wreck Well, the drivers have just finished making up their pit stops here. We have gotten the signal of 1 to go, and it's utter chaos here right now. I don't know what's going on. Johnny Gardner is the leader. I think Carter Fargo is second. Third place is Alex Tanker. Fourth, Rohit Vidaravu. Fifth place is Ian Butterworth. Amadou Diallo sixth. Seventh is Ryan Acosta. Eighth is Nick Barney. Ninth, Jake Baskinger, and I think Chris Louvier is the top 10. But they're all like double wide and 3 wide behind here. This is a rather odd restart way to restart, but okay. Johnny Gardner will get us back underway on lap 5. And the green flag should be coming out in just a moment here. There it is. So that's one of the most strangest restarts at Dega I think I've ever seen. Regardless, Johnny Gardner gonna lead him. He has led every single lap so far. Nick Pericles, he's still running, and somebody just went to the apron. Well, that was Vidaravu and Buttersworth. I don't know if they got forced down there or what. They're still running the apron. Look at these drivers. Austin Weiner went down there. Zach Rogers went down there. Is that legal? Whoa, James Shelley up on the high side. Ty Dent had contact with Cornigo. Cornigo gets into Morgan Grempler, gets nailed by Matt Ulsner. That's going to be a caution. And Dent was involved in that one. Dent did get a piece of that. Did Pericles get through? Yes, he did. Ulsner already on the pit lane. Lisa Gonzalez was collected in it. And there is Morgan Grempler, 5th in the points. Out of the hunt for the championship, but still. And Carter Fargo got around Johnny Gardner. He's the new leader. Well, that didn't take long for this race to take an absolutely chaotic turn. But the caution flag's out. They were 4 wide in a couple portions of that field. The 2 Everham cars of James Shelley and Ty Dent were actually the 2 that were way up on the extreme high line. And the wreck started with the points leader, Ty Dent, getting into the 31 of Jacob Cornigo. So that puts us under the caution for the second time today. Let's take a look and see what happened. Watch left side of your screen. Jacob Cornigo kind of forced Ty Dent up the track there. And then he tries getting to the inside of him and might have gotten him in the left rear. Stephanie Naylor was already in the left rear of the 31 as well. Kayla Schmidt gets a piece of it there in the 15 as Naylor came down into him. And look at this, right in front of Steven Gonzalez. And Morgan Grempler going to come up the track. And Matt Ulsner trying to go up. Can't go up high enough. Gets into him. And then here comes Lisa Gonzalez in the 88. Absolutely nowhere for the Snickers Ford to go. And I have a feeling Harrison Ponder maybe also get collected in this. Look at Nick Pericles. Just barely got through that one. And there's the hit from Harrison Ponder as well. And that was actually the hit that started the black smoke erupting from the 17. So Grempler out of this race. Zachary Chambers, he's going to get a piece of it too in the 48. So I didn't know he was involved. Look at Kyle Thomas, Benjamin Miles going right through the infield grass. So about maybe 4 or 5 cars involved in this one. It's a wonder we didn't have more because that was right in the middle of the field. And Morgan Grempler, 5th in the points standings. Tough break for him. He's collected in this one. 9th in points, Jacob Cornigo. And 10th in points, Zachary Chambers. 11th in points, Harrison Ponder as well. So that was a lot of drivers up near the front of the points that got involved in this one. We'll get ready to go back to green flag racing with a much more organized looking restart line. Carter Fargo is the leader. Second is Amadou Diallo. Jake Baskinger third. Louvier in 4th. And Nick Barney is in 5th now. 6th is Johnny Gardner, the pole sitter. Alex Tanker runs in 7th. 8th place is Joey Van Hoot, the winner from Dega last time out. Samuel Light is in 9th, and completing the top 10 is Leia Walker. Ty Dent, he's going to restart from the 19th position. Nick Pericles, with a damaged race car, is going to restart from 30th. There's Ryan Acosta without a hood. I did see his hood buckled up under the pace laps there, under that caution. Don't know exactly where that came from. So tough break there for the 42 as he restarts at the tail end of the longest line. Drivers out of the race after the 2 incidents we've had so far include Lisa Gonzalez, Morgan Grempler, Matt Ulsner, Harrison Ponder, there was another one, wasn't there? It just changed on me. Henry Nova. And also out of the race is Joshua Mudd. He was actually the only driver to retire from the first big wreck. The other ones all retired from the second wreck that we have now gone under the restart for. I'm actually going to look. I don't know, maybe if Lisa Gonzalez isn't out of the race. Okay, she is. I wasn't sure, because they had her listed as 1 lap down, and the grid kind of changed up there when they crossed the straight. Unless, no, I think Joshua Mudd is out of the race. Is he out of the race? Yeah, he is. Carter Fargo leads the way, not for long. Here come the teammates out of Ganassi Racing to the inside line. Jake Baskinger, Chris Louvier. Baskinger, a former Mobil 1 Cup Series chaser. And whoa, look at Dishwasher going down to the apron. Looking for a, well, it was a 4-wide pass at the time. Now they've settled it back out to 3-wide. Oh, Nick Barney getting awfully close there to the right rear of Chris Louvier. You saw what happens when you get close to the right rear over in turn 1 when Benjamin Miles hooked Kyle Collins in the right rear and put us under the first caution. Baskinger, though, going to lead. And here comes a guy that I think a lot of people are going to be watching. That's Joey Van Hoot. He's on that inside line right now behind Amadou Diallo. Van Hoot ended up winning the Talladega race the first time out here on fuel. Dishwasher. That's one way of making a hold of the inside line, right against the left rear of the 41. Look at Amadou coming up the middle line. Look out, careful. James Shelley going to force it 4-wide here at Dega. Oh, man, good racing up here at the front. Good hard racing, and Shelley going to go to the point. James Shelley, 21st in points, has a win this season. And now he leads the way. It's kind of broken up here at the front of the field, and then further back, you got a little second group. There's Ian Butterworth running in 12th at the current moment. Then here you got Bill Davis Racing drivers, Austin Weiner and Ryan Rezzo. There's Ty Dent. He's up to the 15th position now. Was that a wreck back there? Oh, I thought I saw him wrecking. Guess not. So right now, Ty Dent making a huge case for himself, because if he can just stay ahead of that 43 today, he would be the champion regardless of what happens heading into next week at Armory. He came in with a 49-point advantage, the highest possible amount of points to be behind heading into the season finale and still be mathematically in the hunt for the championship is 46. And that would technically mean you have to win the race and your opponent has to finish dead last. So even the odds of that, not exactly in Pericles' favor, but right now Pericles is in a lot of trouble. Let's find out where he is. Right now in the 30th position, running back here with a number of other damaged cars, including Ryan Acosta, Kyle Collins, Zeke Marley, Lyndon Wright, and Aaron Henderson. Zachary Chambers, he has just now hit the stripe. I don't know if these guys are going to encounter him or not. I think Amadou Diallo and Dishwasher actually just made some contact, sent them down almost to the entrance of pit road. They hung on to it, though. We're still green. And now the leaders hit the line. So it'll be a little bit, I think, still before they reach Zachary Chambers. But that 48 could come into play in the closing stages of this race. Shelley continues to lead. There you saw in that camera shot when the cars hit the back straightaway, you could see down at the other end of the back straightaway was the 48. So they will be encountering Zachary Chambers at some point. And these drivers also ended up making pit stops under that first caution. It was back, I believe it was on lap 2 or lap 3. I don't know if these drivers are going to have to pit again or not. We'll find out. Dishwasher determined to get that inside line working. He really wants to get around that 11. Hasn't been able to do it, though. Now it's Chris Louvier on his back bumper. helping push him on that inside line. You can hear that faint, distant engine of the 48. There he is. They're going to encounter him here very quickly, maybe within this lap. Teammates in the 40 and 41 working the middle groove there, and here they come. Which line do they have to take? Shelley pulls way down. Dishwasher squeezes between his teammate and the wall, and it looks like they all get around him. I don't think anybody got held up, with maybe the possible exception of Ian Butterworth. Nicely done by everybody, encountering that 48 at just the right moment to be able to get around him and not get held up. At the front, it's about 11 cars that could settle it out for this win. Out of them, I'm trying to see which ones have actually been to victory lane already this season. I think there's only 2 of them. And I believe that's Shelley and Samuel Lite in the 12. Oh, nope, Joey Van Hoot as well. Joey Van Hoot in the 01 right there behind his teammate there out of MB2 Motorsports, the 14 of pole sitter Johnny Gardner. Gardner's actually done a good job of keeping his car up here at the front. Usually at Dega, the pole sitter seems to fade out of view, but not Johnny. He's been keeping himself up here in the top 10 this whole race. James Shelley started this race from outside of the top 25. And he is up here leading this race right now en route to possibly picking up the victory, but there still is 4 laps to go. Amadou Diallo behind him started this race off from the outside of the front row. So he, as well as Johnny Gardner, have kept themselves up here at the front, done a good job there. Nick Barney, he started from 24th, right now up in 3rd. Samuel Lite started from 20th, up in 4th. And Dishwasher running in 5th. He also started outside of the top 25. Uh-oh, slower cars again, this time Benjamin Miles and Kyle Thomas, and they very courteously move up the high side to give room. Oh, doesn't matter, they're coming to pit road. The leaders are pitting. So here we go. Is anybody going to stay out from this second group? Here comes Buttersworth. Here comes Austin Weiner, Ty Dent, Stuart Grattan, Ryan Rezzo. 1 car is staying out. It might have been Zachary Chambers. Nope, it's Jacob Cornigo. Here comes Morse into pit road. Matt Corkland, the 18 of Stephanie Naylor. There's Kayla Schmidt, Zeke Marley. I think Chris Louvier may have stayed out a lap. Either that or he pitted earlier. Johnny Gardner may be the same. Corey Williams. There's your race leader. Joey Van Hoot decided to stay out an extra lap. Interesting that the guy that gambled on fuel last time here at Dega is gambling on fuel again. And here he comes to pit road. So Joey Van Hoot, can he do it 2 times in a row and complete a Talladega sweep this season? Let's see what the strategy is going to be here for the 01 too, because there's only going to be about 3 laps to go. Gas and go for the 01. No tires. Get that thing completely full of fuel. He's down and away. Joey Van Hoot, he's done it before. Can he do it again? See who the drivers are he has to watch out for. There's Shelley actually just coming out of 4. Whoa, Nick Barney, what a save! Off the nose of Samuel Lite, hangs on to her. Man, that was a great save by the 16. And there's James Shelley. Where's the 01 of Joey Van Hoot? I think he actually just got past. I think he was just coming off pit road. So Van Hoot, it may not work out this time, but there's, because time's running out. White flag next time by. Shelley leads the way. Oh man, look at the run Samuel Lite got on him though, coming down the back straightaway. Gonna blow right past him as if he was standing still. Nick Barney tried to do the same thing on Amadou Diallo, no such luck. So Samuel Lite is now out in front. Shelley in second. Diallo in third, Nick Barney in fourth, and now those 3 cars from second through fourth, they're lined up. They could run down Samuel Lite here on this final lap. Lite may be a sitting duck. White flag displayed. 1 more lap to go. Can Samuel Lite hang on? Or will James Shelley be able to recruit one of those drivers behind him to help draft him up to the back bumper and make the pass? Will he be able to get a slipstream run here on the back straightaway like Samuel Lite did on him 1 lap earlier? Let's see if the gap closes up here. This is the place that Samuel Lite could be in trouble. Shelley trying to close up the distance, but Nick Barney got a run on him. Tries the inside, can't do it. Coming into 3 and 4, it's about maybe 3 car lengths. I think Shelley could be purposely hanging back. Now's the time to make his charge if he's going to do it. Nick Barney looks committed to the back bumper of the 9 to maybe help get him up there, but there doesn't seem to be any gap closing going on between the two Dodges. As Samuel Lite comes through the tri-oval, he'll capture his 2nd win of the season and takes the Talladega race here, number 14, here in the Last of Us Lite series. And here comes the big question. Where did Ty Dent finish it out? He crosses the stripe now. It is officially in the 13th position. Wow. Talk about coming out on getting a good run when you need it. Ty Dent 13th. And if he just finishes ahead of Nick Pericles, that's all she wrote. You're looking at your champion for this series. Pericles was 27th. So Pericles, still a good run with a damaged car, but regardless of what happens next week at Armory Digital Super Speedway, Ty Dent, with a 13th place run today, has turned back all comers mathematically. He will be your Last of Us Lite Series champion. And what an unbelievable season he has had. Just absolutely dominating in the last few weeks. 2 wins this season, the only driver to have multiple wins in the Last of Us Lite series, with the exception of today's winner, Samuel Lite, now picking up his 2nd win. But Ty Dent is going to be your champion next week at Armory Digital Super Speedway. What an unbelievable race. Congratulations to Samuel Lite. I'm telling you what, Dodge absolutely has been dominating in the last couple of weeks. If you enjoyed today's race, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. Here comes your official full finisher results, overall point standings, and of course your well, it's not real. It's your overall points heading into next week. It's not. There's no chase in this series, but Ty Dent is going to be your champion, and you will see just how much of a gap he has over 2nd in points, whoever it may be, heading into next week. So Samuel Lite picks up his 2nd win of the season. Ty Dent is your champion for the Last of Us Lite series. We'll see you for the season finale next week, as we're going to finish up Talladega here with the running of Trucks Mobile and Snickers. Also be sure to follow the NNSCRA on social media. Facebook and Twitter links are in the description. As you've been watching production of the NNSCRA, offline racing at its best. Whoa, look out! Oh, what a save! Dougie Shears just got turned by the lap machine of Charles Sanford, but now he's got left side damage. But he still opens up his distance. He still keeps a distance between himself and 2nd place McCurry. But all that ground he gained, he just lost right there. But what a save!